Have you heard the wild tales about the carpet soaked in shark's blood or the TV thrown into the swimming pool? Let's take a closer look at some of the most outrageous stories ever of celebrities trashing hotel rooms. Johnny Depp is now one of the most famous actors in the world, but back in 1994, he was just starting to make a big splash in films such as Edward Scissorhands and What's Eating Gilbert Grape. In September of that year, he was arrested at the Mark Hotel in New York City. While wearing combat boots, he used his fists and feet to smash a glass coffee tabletop, a lampstand, a china pot, and some antique picture frames in his suite. His lawyer suggested that the actor was frustrated because his usual New York hotel, the Carlyle, had no availability. Others suggested he was having a lover's quarrel with model Kate Moss. People magazine interviewed neighboring guest Roger Daltrey, lead singer of The who bragged about his rock band being better at trashing hotel rooms than Depp. According to Daltrey, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give him a 1. It took him so bloody long. The Who could have done the job in 1 minute flat. Depp later claimed that he was trying to kill a cockroach, but in 2009, he finally came clean about his shady past. As he put it,
I was in a bad mood. I assaulted a hotel room. I broke a lot of stuff. And it felt good. I felt better afterwards. I can't say that I would recommend it.
Britney Spears' showbiz career has included no shortage of tabloid dirt, but the rumors about her trashing a hotel room in 2009 may not be the product of a crazy Hollywood lifestyle. Instead, this one just sounds like an unfortunate day in the life of a mom moment. While staying at the Mohegan Sun Resort and Casino in Connecticut in 2009, the tabloids alleged that her young sons, Sean Preston and Jaden James, racked up a big hotel bill for their mom by ruining curtains, drawing on walls in crayon, and relieving themselves in the pool. While that sounds like a lot of stress to deal with for any parent, famous or otherwise, the good news is that Spears' circus tour that year was a big hit. We hope that she still managed to turn a profit after paying for the damages, and considering that the Mohegan Sun has welcomed her back since that rumored ruckus, all seems to be forgiven. The Holiday Inn hotel chain reportedly banned Rod Stewart for throwing wild parties with too many girls in his room while touring with his band The Faces in the 70s. And Stewart hasn't denied it. In fact, he detailed his antics years later, revealing that he and his band would empty rooms, stick furniture in the elevator, and send it to the lobby. They went to all that trouble, according to Stewart, because the Holiday Inns they stayed at didn't want to serve them. So the rock stars took their revenge.
You know, we were actually, as the Faces, we were banned from all Holiday Inns, so we used to check in as Fleetwood Mac.
They say time heals all wounds, and that seems to be the case between Stewart and the hotel chain. After the rocker talked about the ban on the Late Late Show with James Corden, the Holiday Inn tweeted, "Hey Rod Stewart, we're not one to hold a grudge. You're welcome back anytime." The rocker reportedly took them up on that offer and stayed at Holiday Inns during his 2016 UK tour. However, he couldn't resist teasing the hotel on Twitter. Careful what you wish for. After parties at Holiday Inn on tour this summer. Sadly, Kurt Cobain is no longer here to tell the stories of Nirvana's wild days, but thankfully, Kurt Loder is. The MTV reporter interviewed the band in St. Paul, Minnesota in December 1993, and years later, he revealed what happened after that famous interview. While he was drinking with Dave Grohl and Chris Novoselic, Novoselic supposedly broke a photo on the wall. Security got wind of it, but Loder covered for the band, earning him infinite cool points in grunge history. As he recalled, "It's like 4 a.m. and we hear that hotel security is coming up, so I said, well, it's really time for me to leave. So I'm leaving, going to the elevator. They're behind me because they want to go down to my room. They don't want to get in trouble either." Alas, Loder had apparently jumped from the frying pan into the fire because the band proceeded to trash his hotel room instead, breaking tables and chairs and really working on the TV to the tune of $19,000 in damages. As he explained, "It was hard, to use a coat stand to break a TV set. You'd figure it would go right through it, but you had to continue doing it before it finally works. They were just out of their minds. It was fabulous in a way, and yet wrong." Kurt Cobain's widow, Courtney Love, experienced her own wild rock star days as the frontwoman for the band Hole. And in 2009, she reportedly trashed a fancy hotel room at the Inn on Irving Place in New York City. According to an insider who spoke to Page 6, she caused so much damage in 8 hours and wreaked so much havoc. It was actually kind of funny, minus the $5,000 in repairs. The damage included dirty needles and used feminine hygiene products that had been left behind, which doesn't sound all that hilarious to us. It's also worth mentioning that Love's daughter, Frances Bean Cobain, was reportedly with her mom during that infamous stay. In 2019, Frances Bean stopped by RuPaul's What's the Tea podcast to discuss her relationship with her mom. She called her mom, quote, "so deeply empathetic and so intelligent," and said that it's difficult for her to sit with herself, further explaining that she's self-destructive because she doesn't know what to do with, quote, "all that information and feeling." Aerosmith has remained a force in rock and roll since they first broke out in the 70s. They continue to tour and record to this day, and lead singer Steven Tyler was a judge on American Idol. So clearly his reputation survived the band's rambunctious antics in the 70s. That's when Dream On and Sweet Emotion were climbing the charts, and when Tyler, Joe Perry, and the rest of the bad boys from Boston were chopping up hotel furniture. Literally. Aerosmith reportedly used to bring a chainsaw on tour so they could use it on hotel room furniture, and extension cords so that they could drop TVs into swimming pools. According to Walk This Way, a documentary about the band, the Rockers' tour manager enacted a 24-hour rule. If the band weren't seen by anybody for 24 hours, then the hotel room door would be broken down to see if they were still alive. These days, Aerosmith performances are much more orderly affairs. The band launched a Las Vegas residency in 2019, and Sin City hotels haven't reported any sawdust in their suites. The late Amy Winehouse sang openly about her addictions and tragically died from fatal levels of alcohol in her blood in 2011. She infamously trashed a hotel room in 2008 following one of her stints in a treatment facility. She stayed at the Park Plaza London Riverbank Hotel for about 2 weeks, but that was 2 weeks too long, according to hotel sources who described the carnage that happened. Winehouse refused to let cleaners do their jobs during her stay, and when she finally checked out, the scene was less than ideal. A source claimed that the bed hadn't been changed since she arrived, and that most of the room had been used as an ashtray. Other details included dirty underwear strewn everywhere, an incredibly stale smell, and a mirror taken off the wall and laid on the floor. Also, the bath had to be scrubbed and unblocked from balls of matted hair. In another incident in 2009, Winehouse allegedly smeared the walls of her hotel room with spaghetti and tore up some carpet prior to the MTV Europe Music Awards. Snoop Dogg supposedly witnessed the whole thing. A source reported that the rapper was just standing there open-mouthed and couldn't believe what he was seeing. Ozzy Osbourne became famous as the lead singer of Black Sabbath and infamous for biting the head off a bat on stage. But even that controversial chomp doesn't seem as weird as his hotel room antics. When his bandmate Tony Iommi published his 2012 autobiography, he shared a story about the Prince of Darkness defacing a room at the Edgewater Hotel in Seattle. The hotel was built on stilts, which allowed guests to fish out of the window. So that's what Osbourne was doing when he caught a shark and put it in the bath. He then cut it up, causing blood and guts to go everywhere. The band also tied a lamp to some fishing line and left. Needless to say, it wasn't there when the group returned.
Rock and roll is you can't make it up. Some nights is good, some nights is not so good.
Osbourne trashing hotels reportedly continued when he went solo. Guitarist Zakk Wylde waxed poetic about one night in Prague that supposedly cost more than $51,000. As he told Birmingham Live, they said the room couldn't be used for 41 days. Hey, you and I could have cleaned the place up in 2 hours with the right kind of equipment, something chemical, maybe biological. Amanda Bynes was a promising talent whose personal challenges got in the way of her acting career. The Nickelodeon star of All That and The Amanda Show had a gift for characters and voices, which she also put to good use in movies such as She's the Man and Hairspray. But in 2010, she started taking a hiatus from acting. In 2013, she made headlines for getting kicked out of the Ritz-Carlton in New York City for allegedly smoking marijuana in her room. Bynes denied the accusations, but TMZ obtained pictures of the trashy scene, which reportedly included piles of garbage, ashes, cosmetics, and a destroyed smoke alarm. It all added up to a $9,000 bill over 9 days, and that was before the hotel finished tallying up the damages. On the bright side, Bynes appears to have put those dark days behind her. By 2018, she was sober and studying at the Fashion Institute of Design and Marketing. She told Paper Magazine that year, "The mixture of marijuana and what other drugs and sometimes drinking really messed up my brain. It really made me a completely different person. I actually am a nice person. I would never feel, say, or do any of the things that I did and said to the people I hurt." Lindsay Lohan was riding high as a child actor in the late 90s and early 2000s. 1998's The Parent Trap made her a young box office behemoth, and she went on to star in more hits like Freaky Friday and Mean Girls. But her party girl image and a slew of legal troubles eventually overshadowed her professional life. In the early 2010s, she was appearing in the likes of Scary Movie 5 and the Lifetime movie Liz and Dick. In the midst of it all, she apparently didn't even know that she had been banned by the shutters on the beach in Santa Monica, California. Lohan and her mom tried to check in late one night in 2013, but were turned away because the actress had been put on a blacklist after she allegedly trashed one of the hotel's rooms in 2007. The cleaning crew had reportedly discovered the room littered with cigarette butts, dirty towels, and trash, and apparently a bloody syringe was found. Earlier that same year, the famed W Hotel in New York City reportedly banned Lohan for allegedly causing $50,000 in damage to a single room. A source told Us Weekly that her suite had so many cigarette burns that they had to change all the carpets.
with none other than Lindsay Lohan. Don't judge!
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.